everyone, and welcome to the first infographic video of Austin Cooks and Bakes. Yes, we are starting off with the British cuisine. So this video is more of like analyzing analyzing the key components of the British cuisine. And no, these are not the only two dishes that we have in the UK. As much as many people like to think that. Don't get me wrong, they are really good, but no, we've obviously got some more, and I'm really looking forward to doing this video. I really enjoyed making it, to be fair, and so let's just, without further ado, let's just get started with the historical background. With such a big British cuisine, and with such a big cuisine, there's such big historical background when it comes to anything, and the historical background of the British cuisine actually dates back to the Roman era. Now the cuisine has additionally evolved a lot quite as well, after being influenced by many other eras such as the Victorians, Normans, the Romans and the Celtics. Celtic, I'm not too sure how to say that, but I'm really sorry if I've said that wrong. But it shouldn't come as a surprise that it's been strongly influenced, and that's why it's so rich in its historical background. But that is the same for every other cuisine, to be fair. And the cuisine does stem from colonization, so there's many trade routes which are where some of the ingredients used to go from, and some of the ingredients that we use today also stem from the history of these trade routes and the colonization. Now this is all that started the British culinary traditions, which is interesting, and it is really it is mostly important and very delicious. Deliciousness is key when it comes to cuisine, and the richness of those foods. Historical background's not that important, but it's always good to know something. When you go to a British dinner party, you can always just say this. Actually, I'm trying to think if that's a good thing to do. Then we'll come back to that. Anyway, regional diversity. As an occasion for any other any other sort of country and cuisine, there's such a thing called regional diversity. However, in Britain, obviously, Britain is made up of multiple countries such as England, Scotland, Wales, and the Northern Ireland. Now, when I'm talking about regional diversity, each country within Britain is different when it comes to food. Believe that or not. English food is very different from Scottish food, and do not go saying, oh, they're basically the same. Especially don't say that in Britain. Please don't. And each country within Britain is different when it comes to food, and it is quite good, which is why I like the regional diversity is very good. I go to both England and Scotland. The food is very different. Never been to Wales, actually. Would like to go, though. Now, for example, fry-up breakfasts are the same. Okay. I say fry-up breakfasts are the same, but that's not what I meant by that. We all have fry-up breakfast. We all have Sunday roast. But there are also different ingredients. That's what I meant to say. We follow the same food traditions, such as a fry-up, like an English breakfast, or a breakfast, not just English, but Sunday roast as well. Is composed of very different ingredients. Now it is all different, which is, as I say, why it is so important to know. And so there is. I'm not good at geography, and believe it or not, I do not know which one is England. But based on where I know Liverpool is, I'm going to say blue is England. No, it's not. Hang on. Oh, I can't be asked for this. If someone can point me to where my country is, or Britain, I don't know. I don't even know what the grey bits are. Anyway, so some of the notable regional dishes of all across Britain include haggis, Welsh rarebit. Oh my god, I couldn't say that. Cornish pasties and Yorkshire pudding. So for those who don't know, this is a Yorkshire pudding. Very nice. When done correctly. Cornish pasties, Yes, they are. So they're in Cornwall, England. Yorkshire puddings. I'd say the UK. So this is Scotland. This is Wales. So I'll say this is Ireland. Oh. But anyway, these are the notable foods of across the regional across in the regions of Britain. So, and I'm sorry for my geography. I'm just not very good with that. So yeah, there's your regional diversity for the British cuisine. Yes. Also, quick one. There's a common ingredient in all of these. Butter, 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 butter. Don't know what it is about butter or margarine in Britain. There's just used so much. Anyway, so there's a British ingredients. There is many British ingredients that also that include the hearty and nostalgic comfort when it comes to it makes people flow back to the past. That's why when I go to England and I eat there, I'm like, it's like being back here 5 years ago. So and that's why I like the British cuisine, because they've got such the. I mean, to be fair, some of these I don't actually like. Marmite is one I really do like. Marmite there. Worcestershire sauce, it's not something I drink from the bottle, alright? HP sauce, hate it. Tea, I'll get onto that later. Commons mustard, never tried, and perfectly honest, don't want to. That just looks lovely. I don't know where that came from. But anyway, so like many other countries, there's something called staple. There's always staple ingredients, and in Britain it includes potatoes, root vegetables, oats, barley, which are just some of the uncommon ones, but also includes various types of poultry and dairy products. We are known for the dairy. It's basically milk in everything. I mean, along with butter, there's going to be milk somewhere in a dessert. I can count on that. But like poultry, I wouldn't say poultry is that really big of a thing. Or at least I haven't noticed that it is. Oats, not really. Potatoes, root vegetables, you can say that again. I mean, because there's many farms in Britain, so they have that opportunity to for the poultry and also for the potatoes and root vegetables. Actually, now the poultry things does make sense. Now those are common ingredients, but like the hearty nostalgic feeling does come from the unusual use of vinegar, HP sauce. We have brown HP sauce in the house, and I don't know why. Yeah, and just tartar sauce is like. Actually, no, I love tartar sauce. I thought I was thinking tzatziki. Tzatziki, people say tzatziki and tartar are the same. They're not. They're really not. And it's the only thing that I really enjoy on that unusual list. Well, it is only the only thing that really belongs on there. Is fish. Yeah, I don't really care about the fish thing. But yeah, I mean, British ingredient. I mean, fish and chips. I mean. People say it's a part of the British cuisine. It's not. Fish and chips very popular, but not fish as a whole thing. It's not like we go and buy some salmon. I actually went to a restaurant that sold salmon as the main thing for the fish and chips. Salmon is something you have on its own. You don't have it battered. I strongly advise you to not go and batter your fish. Please. No, I mean, don't go batter your salmon. Cod, haddock, or haddock may be a bit too smoky or cured, but like pollock, that's very good stuff to batter. But that is how to what's the word I'm looking for? That is how to as a go-to course on fish and chips. But yeah, so these are some of the British ingredients that are quite common. Now, like every other, there's always these traditional dishes that make you think, oh, yep, British. And now Britain does have some, not all, but some of the most iconic dishes known. And even regionally, they are iconic. Basically every part of Britain. The traditional dishes are very commonly found in British hospitality establishment menus. Shepherd's pie, Victoria sponge, fish and chips, toad in a hole, and a roast are probably the ones you're going to find the most. In English breakfast, maybe, but depends on where you go. Now, and these dishes include roast beef, Yorkshire pudding, a full English breakfast, as I say, depends on where you go, bangers and mash, and a rare occasion steak and kidney pie, something I am still yet to try. Now, these dishes do have really some culinary significance, and they do also embolic the very complexity of the British culinary cuisine, which also does give it a sense of identity. A fish and I don't know what would present itself with complexity. I mean, the full English breakfast, absolutely amazing, but it ain't that hard. I mean, it's just, it's a lot of components, but it ain't that hard. Depends if you're, depends on what approach you're taking. It's fully from scratch, let's make the bread by itself. Or let's get a whole baby back of pork and then we'll cut the slices of bacon. That's a different scenario. But also, in that sense, it's not that hard to make. Toad in a hole, absolutely lovely. So for those who don't know, a toad in a hole is this. I don't know why it's called a toad in a hole, but it is. It was very nice. It is very nice. I've recently just had one. Fish and chips. I'm on the fence when it comes to fish and chips. It depends on how the fish is done. Now, if the fish is done like this, no. You want it battered, not crispy. Well, okay. You want it crispy, but not just not this. That's like how they do chicken in KFC. They dip it in flour, then they fry it. No, you batter this thing. You batter it. Shepherd's pie, very common. And, Victoria sponge. If you ever get to try one, please do. It is so good. Even at I've heard the McDonald's. I know the McDonald's ones do Victoria sponges. Now, I would stick with the British cuisine. No, what's the one I'm looking for? Stick with the regular stuff. So traditional dishes, they do present it with identity, and not just because you are British doesn't mean that you will like all of this stuff. I wouldn't say I'm a picky eater, but I like mushy peas, but it depends what kind of peas. And when it comes to a Sunday roast, there's just too much on the plate. I mean, look, that is either cauliflower or I'm going to hope that's cauliflower because there's potatoes here. But this type of meat I don't like, and I don't really like gravy either, so, yeah. But that's just me. Traditional dishes, very good. And if you go to Britain, you are going to find, out of this list, a fair amount of it. I'm going to say, so there's 8 there, a solid 6 out of 8. The probably ones you probably won't get as much as a toad in a hole in this one. I'm still trying to figure out what this one is anyway. Yes, there's always a good question of why is tea a thing? And I had to do my research myself because I'm not too sure either. Now, tea is probably the most important part of the British culture and let alone culinary tradition. Now, the concept of tea is that it can be enjoyed any time throughout the day, and many of the British population do drink tea. That's not that bad, and it doesn't stem from the fact that British people, a lot of the British population drink tea. It's just because of the concept that it can be drank throughout any time of the day. But the fact that it can be accompanied by so many things is also another thing that gives it such a culinary tradition to the British culture. So some people have a biscuit or some cake with it, with the tea, but sometimes they'll have like a little snack or their afternoon nibbles, you will. Because it does pair with many things. This is how the concept of afternoon teas were born. So for those who don't know, in many establishments, to be fair, a lot of brunches and a lot of hotels do these afternoon teas. So around 3 or 4 o'clock, they'll have these tables set up for you, and they'll bring a selection of cakes, and they'll ask you for what type of tea do you want. They're really good. I go to quite a few, and they are always good. They never disappoint. And these afternoon nibbles do do frequently come around, such as these sandwiches and scones and sometimes these little tiny desserts that go along with your tea. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to have tea at these things, but like that's why they're called an afternoon tea, and they are always very nice. And obviously Britain are not the only people that do them. I mean, where I live, they do them. I don't live in the UK, and yeah, the concept of tea is a stereotype, but it's not as bad as people make it out to be. Yes, we drink tea, but it's not that bad. I mean, tea is good. I know other people that drink tea that aren't British, so yeah. So that's just how life works. Seasons or celebrations. So they're a really important part of Britain, and it's mainly just an excuse to eat. That is all they are. Now, when it comes to celebrating those seasons, food is the number one go-to as a symbol of togetherness and festivity. To be fair, that's not just the same. That's not just for Britain. That is for a lot of places. That's just what food is, a symbol of togetherness and festivity. Now, while Britain may not have a lot of seasons, you mainly only have two important ones, which are Easter and Christmas, and most of them are some harvest festivals are another important time to eat, and seasonal celebrations are also a good excuse to delve into the culinary beauty of the nation even. Seasonal importance is a very nice thing. So we don't go back at Christmas, mainly because I do not want to die of hypothermia. It's so cold then. And some of those indulgent foods do consist of mince pies, hot cross buns, Christmas pudding, and an Easter lamb. I really do like an Easter lamb. I mean, Christmas pudding, you can never go wrong with a Christmas pudding. I love them. And Easter lamb, I'm not that fussed about, but I like lamb. Hot cross buns, very good. I actually just saw my dad have one. And mince pies, I used to hate mince pies, but now I love them. I'm really upset that they only come around like once a year. But see, as I say, the seasonal importance does show that there is such a excitement at this time, such as like wanting these specific dishes. So I do think the seasonal importance is very important, and it is also what gives the British cuisine a very good what's the word, meaning in such a symbolic, and yeah. So probably my favorite part, but British people can't be beaten by how many puddings and desserts we are. I will say this: we do not have the best. I know another country that does have the best puddings and desserts. Yes, we are not one of them, but you cannot compete with how many we have. We just have so many. Now, there are some classics, and there are some. Probably the best part of puddings and desserts is actually making them. And I think that's probably why a lot of people probably why we have so many, because people like baking. And the tradition follows that after a Sunday roast dinner or something celebratory, something like that, something like that is celebrated, there would always be an accompanying dessert like apple crumble or bread and butter pudding, which are mainly the classics. I mean, you have a banoffee pie, which I've never tried and I really want to. Christmas pudding, Victoria sponge, jammy dodger, scones. I think that's a pumpkin pie, which we can all agree that is not British. I know what this is, but I can't put my name on it. And I know what that's a trifle. I think that maybe just be another trifle, because that. Anyway, so apple crumble is very good. And when we went to this certain restaurant in it was in Scotland, and it was over the sea, and it was really good. And we went there every night, and I got the same thing every single time, and it was so good. Now, there are so many other puddings and desserts like sticky toffee pudding, spotted dick, trifle. Trifle is probably the best, or a treacle tart. I know what a treacle tart looks like. Never tried one. I've seen them so many times in shops. Never tried one. Now, they also play into the seasonal importance part because of making these desserts are also quite symbolic when it comes to tradition. So, making these are seen as like a what's the word? Like a source of. Oh my god, it's like a seasonal activity. That's what I'm looking for, and that's what you can never be a good dessert after a Sunday roast ever. I mean, a good Sunday roast and then followed by a good dessert. Now that is good. That is one thing I miss about being in the UK. That Sunday roast type stuff. So, my overall opinion. Now there are so many aspects of the culinary culture that are just golden. Believe it or not, I don't know as much as you would think about like British cuisine, other than the fact that there's some really good food that I know of. Now, I don't eat as much as you think when it comes to, as much as I do these videos, one of which I do have another one planned, but I don't do as much as you would think. Now, I'm only saying what I know from experiences, but I don't eat I don't eat British food a lot. I think that the food that I know, or the food that I know of is the only stuff I can think of, and a lot of the stuff that I have just did come from the internet, and that I have tried and are good, but it is cultural context, which is really good stuff to read about, and I do encourage you to go and really read about the cultural context of some cuisines. Now, I wouldn't say it is the best, I can say that, but I do love the food and how what it stems from, British cuisine and what it stems from, and I always have, and if I'm going to be completely honest, I always will. There is my overall opinion. Well, everyone, that is the end of today's video. I do hope you all enjoyed, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe and comment what else you would like to see on the channel. Now, next week I do have another infographic video. There may not be a couple cooking ones for quite a while, well, not quite a while, but maybe for a bit, but I will be doing another one next week because as of day of recording, tomorrow I fly to Italy. So read into that what you will, but I'm doing an Italian cuisine video next week after I come back. So that'll be good. So without further ado, everyone, as I said, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe. And also, I hope you all have an amazing and tremendous day, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.